So the real meaning of noon and how the ancient Jews continue to influence modern society. So this word noon. As you will see in the Bible, there's also what we call the first watch, the second watch, third watch, fourth watch. Remember when they spotted Jesus walking on water? What watch was this? It was the fourth watch. It was the fourth watch. So in order to understand and to go to this point, we begin with 6 a.m., then 9 a.m., then 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m. 9 p.m., 12 a.m., right? And then 3 a.m. And after this, back to 6 a.m. Yeah? This is our way of putting the time. This is our way of setting the time. But for the Jews, it wasn't the case. For the Jews, 6 a.m. is the first hour. Yeah, 6 a.m. is the first hour. This is the third hour. This is the sixth hour. Nine. 12. First watch. Second watch. Third watch. Oh, good night. More watch. So that's how the Jews would do it. It's interesting, but we have 7 a.m. Probably that will be the second hour. What about 8 a.m.? How come 9 became the third? You see? This is us, and this is Jews. So this alone is good enough reason why you need to study in order to understand the Bible. A lot of people who don't study the Bible don't know this. So we say fourth watch. What's fourth watch? Who knows what's fourth watch? That's the equivalent of our 3 a.m. up to 6 a.m. So when they saw Jesus walking on water, probably it must have been around 4 a.m. How do you like to see somebody walking at 4 in the morning on water? You see? Now how does that relate to noon? That's a question. This is related to the Gospel, Matthew 20. That's why I'm talking about this now. Remember Matthew 20, 1 to 16 from yesterday? Yesterday's Gospel? I call it the idol apostle. I don't know if you noticed it. Did you? There are no lectors here. You're not a lector.
I was before they gave me as a minister.
You know, when you probably listen to this and God would say, the landowner would say, what are you doing here? Nobody has hired us. Remember that? Nobody has hired us, that's why we're here standing doing nothing. And that's not acceptable to God. That's not acceptable to God. So what did the landowner say? Now you go there, go work in the vineyard. Right? And we have different hours. In that Gospel, Matthew 20, there are different hours, different times. Some were invited 9, some were invited 12, some were 3, some even later, right? 5 o'clock, 11th hour. What's 11th hour? 11th hour is around 5, between 4 and 5 in the evening. And yet, remember they got the same salary? So the surprising salary here. Last testimony. So, do you know that this is also the priests? You can ask the priests. They have what they call the divine office that they need to recite every day. Even the nuns, right? You recite that? The divine office? Not yet?
The third one.
Oh, the third, oh yeah, okay. It's called the Liturgy of the Hours, remember that? So that's after the Jewish way of saying the prayers. Now, there's an interesting thing that I found. This here. Do you know that all the religious should pray at 3 p.m.? In fact, even the lady were encouraged to pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet at 3 p.m. That's the time when Jesus died on the cross. Now, one word, I don't know how did it come about. This 9-hour time, this is called none. That's how it's called. You pray during none. On the strike of none, you need to pray this. That's how they term it. None. N-O-N-E. But it's not pronounced as none like zilch, like zip, like nada. No, that's not what it means. What it means is, and how it's pronounced is, known. Like own. If I will write it down, it will be known. Pronounce. That's an N. Pronounce as known. It's not pronounced as none. It's spelled N-O-N-E, but it's pronounced as known. That's the 9th hour. In other words, the O is pronounced as O. So, known. Right? Known. And this happened in the Middle Ages. Interesting, very interesting. So, this noon is actually I told you 3 p.m. is the Jewish noon. Huh? This is the height of the day for the Jews, 3 p.m., which they call the 9th hour. They call it the 9th hour, and it's pronounced as noon. Now, through the years, and as Christians became many, this word changed its name from noon to noon. So from noon to noon, that's what happened. And that's where noon came from. But our noon is 12, not 3. Because this is to us, this is the height of the day. This is scientifically calculated because of the 12-hour somebody has a job. So, the prayer, this is a prayer, okay? It's not a time, it's a prayer. So they say, let's have the known prayer. Let's have the known prayer, which is at the 9th hour, which is 3 p.m. And that known eventually became noon, especially during the Middle Ages. That known became noon, which became 12 p.m. for us. Because this is more scientific, because there are 12 days, 12 hours in a day, and 12 is of course the middle of the day. Do you know why 12 noon is the middle of the day? Because the day starts at 12 midnight. You know that? The day changes 12 midnight up to 12 noon, and then again back to 12 midnight for the new day. So 12 p.m. at noon is really the height of the day. That's the midway of the day. If you go to, you've been to Israel, right? Oh, you haven't? I thought you haven't. If you go to Israel, they still pronounce this as known. They still say this is known. And it's at 3 p.m. Hour 3 p.m. Which is, don't forget, this 24-hour day is observed throughout the world. This is universally accepted. That there are 24 hours a day, 7 days in a week. That's accepted everywhere. Except now did you know that the Muslims have different calendar? The Muslims are still in the 16th century. Because they started counting from when Muhammad died. They started counting. Remember, they're 600 years later. So, we Christians were in the 21st century, they're in the 16th century. Or maybe latter 15th century. What about the Jews? The Jews counted from Abraham. So the Jews are now in the 52nd century. It's interesting. So we got the Jews, 5,000 plus years, the Muslims, 1,600 years, and the Christians, 2,000 plus years. Just for your information. This has relevance to this. The gospel yesterday, Matthew 20. Now, let's begin. I call this the idle apostle. Do you know that all of us are called? You know that? How would you feel if you have been teaching the catechism and somebody who just came on board became your boss, became the coordinator of the catechists, and you've been there like, who knows, 25, 30 years? How would you feel? You feel you know everything about catechism. Your students became professionals already. Have you heard of people saying, in our mind, in our mentality, especially in the office, at work, who's that guy who just came? We've been here years and years and years. Sounds familiar? We tend to associate seniority with maturity. In other words, if I'm here longer, I should know more.
It depends on the credentials.
Right.
You know, in the workplace.
But still there's this little pride for people who have been there a long time. Right? Oh, she's untouchable. She's been here 100 years. We don't want to offend her. Just let her be. Now, I want you to put your shoes into those who were called at 6 a.m. They started working. As soon as the sun is up, they started working under the scorching heat. And then at 6 p.m., they were given 1 denarius. And then, some few who started at 5 p.m. also were given 5 denarius. Would you feel bad? Tell me the truth.
Yes.
Why? What if you agree that the pay will be that?